Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the Keep Indiana Learning Dream Summit. We are thrilled to have Dr. Tessa Sutton with us today to share her dreams for education. Now, if you don't know, Dr. Tessa Sutton, she is phenomenal. She is the Assistant Superintendent of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion at the South Bend School Corporation. She served as a teacher as well as a building and district level administrator. She is accountable for the oversight of processes related to student services to ensure that all students have access to engage in core curriculum. They are assured equity, inclusion, and social emotional development through a very clear system of inclusionary and targeted supports by a highly effective staff as well as vibrant family and community partnerships. So we thank you today for joining us. Dr. Sutton, thank you so much. We look forward to hearing from you today.
Thank you. Navigating difference, the what, the why, and the how. Now, I selected this topic because access and opportunity for youth and adults rest on our ability to move seamlessly across diversity. And thank you for dreaming with me today. And I want to thank the Keep Indiana Learning for inviting me to be here and a part of this very important moment. Our ability to navigate difference frees us from the snare of limitations rooted in what I call a philosophy of vain deceit. Navigating difference, it positions us to no longer filter access and opportunity through our lens of limited experience. Instead, it invites us to see others with a new lens that opens the door to a practice called personal leadership. And I am of the opinion we should not lead others unless we can lead ourselves. So practicing personal leadership helps us basically to lead from the inside out. Our crafted vision statement as part of personal leadership, it guides us and it helps us to live at our highest and our best and to be more inclusive, more agile, especially when encountering difference. Dr. King challenged us to gain a deep understanding of ourselves because it advances us to a position of strength. As a result of Dr. King's challenge and his influence on my life, my dream, my position of strength is this: increase your capacity to be effective with everyone. Dr. King said, it is not possible to be in favor of justice for some people and not be in favor of justice for all people. So, what does navigating difference mean? Dr. Nita Rowe frames diversity in terms of 4 layers: personality, internal dimensions, external dimensions, and organizational dimensions. When we think about the personality, this includes an individual's likes and dislikes, their values, and their beliefs. On the internal dimensions, this comprises aspects of ourselves we have little control. These dimensions include the first things we see in people, such as race, gender, and on which we make many assumptions and judgments. And then the third layer is called external dimensions. And this is a result of life experiences and choices that we make. And then the fourth layer talks about organizational dimensions. And this concerns the aspects of culture found in a work setting and many times issues of preferential treatment. Dr. King challenged us to ask poignant questions like we have here. And these questions, they help us to frame what navigating difference really means. These questions construct diversity as something that's tangible and serve as a foundation for developing a growth mindset. And that first question is, and I want you to think about this, which of these factors do you make snap judgments? Secondly, which factors influence your decisions in a negative and a positive manner? Thirdly, which dimensions cause you to try to avoid contact with others? You know, our filters matter because we make decisions every day about who's in, who's out, who receives access and opportunity, and who does not. And we do this, interestingly, without much effort. So let's pause here just a bit and make a connection to these three questions we just asked that really frames navigating differences. How our filters impact our view of the world, thus play out in everyday life. And here's an example. Hello, my name is Rachel. I'm a female, Irish American who has 5 sons. Because I was raised in a fundamental Christian community, religion is one of the areas that most affect my thinking and behavior on a daily basis. And even though I am no longer a part of that community or any religious community, I can hear myself make decisions or judgments every day that are based on that early religious influence. Our filters are powerful and they impact girls and boys, women and men when we decide who attains opportunity and who does not. So we talked about the what and we framed that. Now let's talk about the why. The why of dream and access and opportunity. I want you to type in the chat box, why do my filters matter? Just take a moment to do that. And as you can see in this picture, Tessa has and had dreams of access and opportunity. And our filters can affect the way we treat people and the opportunities we provide to them, notwithstanding the impact our filters have on productivity of an organization. Without navigating these differences, faux pas and costly mistakes can hinder productivity in relationships, as well as our ability to create inclusive culture. Although I embody several diversity dimensions, such as religion, education, Black American, race trumps gender in my experience. And in my formative years and as an adult, I was subjected to atrocious bigotry and systemic exclusion, best described as pinpricks, a psychic assault, and a death of 1,000 cuts. Yes, I have faced systemic racism and prejudice, and every interaction and instance affected my thinking. The experiences, however, culminated in my desire to confront the injustices all people face rather than withdraw from them. And in the educational setting, it became evident through the school curriculum that our nation's ideals were grossly misaligned with its practices. We can and we must reach higher, and we must dream bigger. I knew there had to be a way forward, and personal leadership was that way forward in my world. So we've talked about the what, we've talked about the why, and now I want to talk a bit about the how. Personal leadership is an effective method for navigating difference so that we can provide access and opportunities. Professional leadership invites a deep learning about who we are and how we move through the world. Personal leadership helps us, what I think is so wonderful, and that is to disentangle from those automatic pilot reactions we have so that we can be more mindful. And it is a framework of 2 principles and 6 practices that I'm going to share with you. And because they help us to stay connected and inspired and creative, especially when we're confronted with the new and unfamiliar. So, simply stated, personal leadership is leading again from the inside out. And I introduce this to you to help you in your career, to help you in your business, in your classroom, as a method to free you and me from the restraints that prevent us from providing access and opportunity to others. So, if you want to observe Dr. King's dream, we must understand one, how our brain functions, and two, how our filters impact how we experience the world, our values, our beliefs, and ultimately our behaviors. Personal leadership is a framework to help us to look at those filters very closely. So let's look at these 2 principles. Mindfulness. Mindfulness invites us to wake up those habitual behaviors. It helps us to bring self-awareness forward as an instrument and to look at every situation with new eyes. And then the creativity is right there on the same track because it invites something new and it helps us to discern the right actions or words appropriate in each situation. So when we think about personal leadership, it really is about a choice point. When you're in the midst of an interaction or navigating change or difference of a person or a place or a situation, do you always do what you've done, operate from that automatic pilot, from your habitual cultural perspective? Or do you practice personal leadership and respond mindfully and creatively to a unique situation? The 6 practices that I talked about will help you in this process. And I'm going to focus on a couple of them. And those 6 practices include aligning with vision, engaging ambiguity, cultivating stillness, attending to judgment, attending to emotion, and attending to physical sensation. They all speak to us and guide us through our interactions and helps us to lead from the inside out. But aligning with vision is really important. And because it is the determination for you of how you want to exist in the world. And the one that I have gotten so much better at, and that is engaging ambiguity, comfortability without knowing. How do you respond when you don't know? Right now, we are in a situation in our world where we don't know. Are we still living at our highest and our best? Attending to judgment. How are we judging ourselves, number one? And number two, how are we judging others? And don't forget the attending to physical sensation. The body never lies. If you have a response to something, investigate it. And that's when you can bring in that cultivating stillness to address that. So Dr. King, gosh, he modeled personal leadership. He sat in the presence of people who despised him and his ideas and what he represented in the world. There was something exceptional about Dr. King. He was a person who practiced personal leadership to help others gain access and opportunity. He indeed modeled what it means to increase your capacity to be effective with everyone. So now I'm going to shift to developing a personal leadership vision statement. And I'm going to invite you to participate in this. Now, this generally takes much longer, but I just want you to get the framework and perhaps do this later. As stated earlier, personal leadership vision statement can serve to guide as a guide to live at our highest and our best and to be more inclusive and agile when encountering the differences. So I invite you to take out a piece of paper and list 10 qualities that you deeply care about and would like to embody in your life. I'm going to share my process. Emotionally regulated, calm, cool, and collected, peaceful, results oriented, wisdom, caring, relaxed, focused, receptive, open to new ideas, spiritually connected, and a free mind. Those are qualities that I deeply care about. However, when creating this personal leadership vision statement, you have to then select only five because that even draws you closer. So the five that I chose are emotionally regulated, calm, cool, and collected, peaceful, wisdom, receptive, open to new ideas, spiritually connected. And then I create this vision statement from this template. So I said, when operating at my highest and best as this, I commit to doing this so that, or in order to. So I'm going to share with you what I deeply care about and what I live by, my Tessa's personal vision statement. And it is this: when operating at my highest and best, I am committed to practicing emotional awareness and body mindfulness for reflective, skillful communication with others and becoming comfortable with my feelings of ambiguity. I seek wisdom from God with the aim to be receptive to world views, to be at peace with God, within and with others, and to be at home anywhere as an interculturalist. So, we discussed navigating difference, the what, the why, and the how. Our ability to navigate difference frees us from the snare of limitations rooted in experiences. Navigating difference through personal leadership invites us to see others through a new lens. It opens a door to lead from the inside out. It helps us to live at our highest and our best, and to be more inclusive and agile when encountering differences. Navigating difference is a position of strength. My dream: increase your capacity to be effective with everyone. What are you going to do tomorrow with what you learned today? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sutton. That was absolutely phenomenal, and you've challenged me in so many ways today. I appreciate the insight. I appreciate you sharing your story and also helping us understand the importance of navigating our differences as we move to create an equitable and inclusive environment for everyone. And so, again, I want to thank you on behalf of Keep Indiana Learning, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Tactic
Yes.
Team. Thank you to all of our viewers. And don't forget to join us for the roundtable discussion with all of our morning and afternoon presenters at 11 a.m. and then our afternoon presenters at 2 p.m. And be sure to share these sessions using our event hashtag DreamWith. Educators, there is a link in the description of our live stream to share your thoughts about the Dream Summit and to receive your PGP certificates for joining us today. Again, thank you again, Dr. Sutton. You
Yes.
truly, truly empowered me today. Thank you.
Thank you.